Awesome. We are live. Hello, Pierre. How are you doing today?
I am doing all right. Good morning, Jackie. It's morning for me. It's probably evening for you.
Yeah, good afternoon, basically. I don't know why I always say morning. It sounds so weird when people are walking here around in my place and I'm saying good morning. It's like this
Yeah,
woman is crazy.
yeah. Well, it is. We're just starting off the day here on eastern side of the U.S. For everyone watching, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. We appreciate you spending time and hanging out with us. These sessions are our weekly Template Tuesdays, we're calling them. We look at content from the internet. We look at different websites. We figure out how to rebuild the same or similar. We get inspiration from all sorts of different places and apply it to our website that we're building. Last week, we created a beautiful restaurant website. So today we're going to continue building out that website. So I'm going to start sharing my screen and we can go from there. And for everyone in the comments section, this is a live session. Feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to, if you need help or whatever it is, you're trying to figure something out, this is the moment. You can ask any of your questions and we'll get to those answered for you. So here is my screen. Last week, we created this absolutely stunning header area. Here, I'm going to save, and I'm actually going to open the website itself for us to see it. And you guys can look at it yourself too. I'm going to post this in our comments, and feel free to open this up and look at it and watch as we build and as it grows and develops. So this is our header area, stunning picture in the back, looks delicious. We created this rotating banner box with all sorts of different headlines. We used our AI tool, Magic Text AI, to help us with the inspiration. We had some help from the chat box. And all of that to lead us here. Today, we're going to actually move on to the second panel. So we're going to consider this top panel done, and we're actually going to move on to anything below. Now, initially, this was the template that we looked at. This section here is what we want to build out today. If you guys notice, I'm going to be the one driving today's session. So Jackie, I'm going to lean on your expertise to help us achieve this beautiful effect in the back. So just to break it down, we have a darker color here in the background. We have the same font, slightly smaller here. We also see this play on the colors. If you guys notice, we have this where it says, "Be ready for memorable moments." Be ready for is in a different color than this headline. And then we have the subheader beneath. And moving on to the more difficult parts of the panel, which is going to be this fixed area here with these images. We have boxes, we have icons, we have this text, a button, and then behind it, obviously the most important part, or the most eye-catching part, is this scroll animation. So hopefully I've broken down all of the pieces. If not, we'll find out what we still need. Jackie, let's talk about strategy here. How do we approach this panel? If you want to share with us how you look at it, it would be for us to kind of go from there.
Definitely. So from the perspective of design, looking at it, and I'm not a guru, but I can clearly see from experience that the background at the back is fixed. So you can see the images that are coming from the back as you scroll is not moving. What is basically moving is the panel. So the very first thing that we're going to have to do is to go and create a similar type of images inside of Canva or Adobe or whichever platform you are using to create your images. And what I've also noted is that the images that they've got as you scroll, it almost look like a infographic kind of image because they're very tall. So if you keep on scrolling, you can see it's not just a block and it's paused. It's a long image at the back. So that tells me that the background that we are going to use is going to have to be in height longer than what you would normally have, so that you can have this kind of effect when you're going to start scrolling. And then obviously you're going to have to think about the three different kinds of images that you're going to place and make sure inside of Canva that they are more centered into the middle of the banner and not as much on the sides of it. Because when we are going to upload this as a background, it's only then that we would be able to add our boxes to it to see whether we have estimated to be in the right area. Because remember, we don't know the exact requirements or exact measurements that we're going to need to actually get it into that box. So it's going to be a little bit of trial and error to try and get this background done first. So that would be the very first step, is to go and create those three images on Canva.
So the hard part first. Love it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and screen share and open up my Canva and just do a little bit of an explanation of what we're going to do, just to make sure that I really understand the full, everything that we're going to be talking about. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to add a border, and we're going to change the color here just so we can see. Jackie, I'm going to repeat what you said back to you, and hopefully it makes sense. Here's what I understood. This image is actually this tall behind, these three images are actually that tall behind that panel.
That's the whole panel.
Right. And as we scroll, it reveals these three images. I'm going to switch my tab back to here and then scroll up and down just to illustrate what's happening. If we notice in the background, we have this image that's revealed, and we see that it scrolls all the way across. So what you're saying is this image is actually this tall, and we would need to create one panel that includes these three images that we want. And we're going to place them side by side, and we're going to upload that one image with the three photos inside it to that background.
That's right.
I'm just going to share my thoughts. What I don't want to happen is to leave the background a different color than this overlay, because I'm scared it would create some sort of like white gap in between the image and whatever overlay we're going to do on the back. So maybe we should also pick a color for our own website. So I like this dark charcoal gray. I don't know if we want to copy the whole thing. What I'd like to do is maybe look at this image and find maybe some color samples that we can grab from this image that are a little dark. Maybe here to give us, a little bit more here. I'll do this. I actually have an extension here, or I had rather an extension. All right, I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. Let me open up another tab. Okay, so on another browser, I'm just going to go ahead and grab this tool here. It's a color picker, and it lets me select a specific color that I want. And we can just try maybe this one here. And we're going to take this color and pop it into our Canva. Beautiful. All right. So this would be our background color, right? And I'm
Yeah.
assuming for this step, Jackie, we can just go ahead and do the fun part and actually start looking at images, right? And looking for pictures
Yeah.
to use. So let's head over here. And I typically go to somewhere like pexels.com. Pixabay is another one. It gives us free tools that we use. If you guys are looking for like higher end images, you can head to iStock. That's a good place. Shutterstock as well. But also, if you guys are not familiar, the Builderall platform, if you go through and look at all of the free images you get, you will be absolutely inspired.
Mm.
Builderall offers for free hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different buttons and GIFs and icons and images that you can use for all sorts of different uh, scenarios, people, all of that good stuff. So feel free to also look there first because this is provided to you for free as well.
And they
Okay.
need to remember that they can actually edit those images as well. So if the image is not the right size for you, you can always click on the edit button and you can go crop it or even swap it around so that it is mirrored,
Yes.
or even adjust the color settings. So you can do quite a lot if you click on the little pencil to go and change the look of that specific image.
Nice. Okay. So that said, let's head back over and look for food. For reference, we are looking to create something that's really mouth-watering, right? We're talking about, fresh ingredients off the grill. You watch it happen. You have the sounds, you have the smells, you have all of the action happening at this pretend restaurant that I'm getting a little overexcited about. Uh, so we want to look for pictures that really say that, right? It speaks to something being delicious. So I'm gonna do. Let's start with grill.
It's funny how visuals can make such a big impact. I mean, with the short attention spans that people have these days, we even at the point where we don't want to read.
Mm,
So if we can get the information
yeah,
visually
yeah,
and not even read, that would be the wonderful go-to
yeah.
of any type of success.
I definitely hear what you're saying. A couple of images stand out to me. I like this charcoal. I like what's happening. For me, it kind of tells a story. You
Mm.
land and you're on the website and you see the big grill, but then we sort of like deconstruct what the grill's about, right? You have the charcoal, you have maybe the meats, maybe you have the vegetables, maybe you have all of that good stuff happening. So maybe we can look at something like charcoal. Okay, I don't hate it. I like what's happening here. I like what's happening here. Jackie, let me know if you have one that kind of jumps out at you. Oh, this is interesting, right?
I
Because
like
you have
that
this,
one with the pots, those
yeah,
iron pots kind of thing.
this one, or was there
It,
another one?
it makes me think about that it's not just meat.
Mm,
They also do other type of
right,
barbecues kind of thing.
right.
The
Like
image is just not
stew.
in the right size there.
Yeah, we can look at it. I like the storefront idea here, so we can look at storefronts next. And
Yeah.
for everyone in the comments, the point of these sessions, we're going to take our time. We're going to have the most beautiful end product, and uh, keep at it. I know if you have any ideas and whatever, drop it in the comments. We'd love to also include your ideas. I think last week we had
Yes.
a couple of really nice suggestions uh, on the headlines that we were picking. So I'm just going to go ahead and do free downloads. I'm going to say thanks to Kayla Rose Rocola. And, this is a credit to them. And we'll come back and make sure to link everything back here uh, just to give them credit where credit is due. All right. So Here's what's happening here.
It would be nice if you guys that are watching this, even if you're watching the replay at a later stage, tell us if you're an agency and if you've ever built something for a restaurant. And if you did, share us your website. We would love to see what you've actually built.
For sure. I'm going to do storefront or restaurant. See if we can find the picture of maybe the storefront up front, maybe something that's like really evocative. People want to know what they're going to get, right? And again, it's all about storytelling. So showing people where they're going could be something that's really interesting. I love this image. It's
oh yes, me too.
It's so like eye-catchy, right? Maybe I'll open it in a new tab here and we can come back and look at it. But for right now, we're looking at storefront. I love what's happening here with this background. I don't know if it matches with our theme, but I love this like the red neon going on in the background.
Yeah. It creates that ambience that this is the place that you need to be at.
Right. It's, it's maybe it's good enough for like a first date, but also it has like a chill environment. You feel like you can kick back here, so it has that combination. I think that's really cool. I would have used this picture, I think, but the lamps really say Asian, and I don't know if the Asian meets the barbecue. I don't know if that's going to translate. So,
I can't even read it.
Yeah, me neither.
You must be very good to be able to see that.
Oh, it's not actually. I don't know if it is, but the lamps, the light fixtures, really sort of evoke that, and I don't know.
Oh yes,
we're going for.
Yeah, you're right.
Looking at these related images, I like what's happening here. I wish it was a different looking restaurant. We'll keep looking here. I love what's happening. This is a beautiful picture. A few lifetimes ago, I worked in photography, and I loved doing, these like photo reviews and critiques. I think that was the highlight of that role. You see here, like iStock, they have these sponsored images, and they're beautiful, right? Because they want you to go and pay for it, which
exactly
totally fair enough, right? Fair enough. I like what's happening here. It's not okay. This says something we could go with. All right. I don't know what you think, Jackie, but I think this is usable for us.
Okay, now we can see it. For a moment, we couldn't see that, but now I can see that.
All right. So it says chic, it says trendy, it says you could also grill here, authentic food. I'm going to download it and we'll put it to the side. Volkan Bardar for this image. Good stuff. All right. Okay. And then we're looking at this picture of a person making dough. I like the action. I don't know if I like the dough itself. I feel like the dough itself is not really.
No, it doesn't say barbecue though.
Right. I like the movement in the picture. So maybe we'll do something like grilling. And I'm also thinking about, maybe we don't want to just talk about grilling the whole time. Maybe we want to talk about drinks, right?
Yep, definitely.
So maybe someone making a drink, a bartender, cocktails. I wish this was more like action-packed. This one's interesting here. I wish it was a darker image. All of these are a little too fancy. Maybe we can actually do a trick here. So let's actually see what this picture looks like if we turn it to black and white. So back to Canva and back to our edits here. We have this picture and we have this picture here. All right. So This is image 1, this is image 2, and this is image 3. Obviously, we're going to need to edit this one. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to adjust. And let's see what happens if we push the blacks up a little bit more and the whites ever so slightly. And yeah, something like this. This is I'm happy with this. What do you think, Jackie?
No, I like it.
You like it with the black and white, or is it sort of?
I just don't know what it's going to look like if we are going to add it into the website with being a different color.
Right. Yeah, because that's what we need to consider too, right? Yeah. All right. Back to the drawing board here. Let's maybe find another picture that lines up a little more. Okay. I think we have. All right. It's a stock photo from iStock. So, a beautiful picture. I think we can't really use it since it's not royalty free, but maybe we can manifest a similar image. How do we feel about this one here with this cropped out?
That will also work because obviously we're going to have. Let me just see what that one looks like. It still needs to be darker because we're going to have text, white text over it.
Yeah.
So the images we use have to have a little bit of darkness.
Yeah. And, while we do this, I do want to say for everyone watching, it's okay to be picky, right? It's okay to be picky, especially in today's world. Obviously, we can go in and we can look at an AI picture or have AI generate a picture. I don't think anyone wants to watch me mess around with prompts for 5-10 minutes. So there's that option. And then we can always look for a really good image that's present online. All right, I'm going to hop over to Pixabay. And I'm going to do cocktails. I think this is a strong image. And I think we can definitely use something like this.
Yeah. Delicious.
What do you think? We go with something like this?
Yeah, I like that.
All right. So we want to line up a couple of things here, right? We said we wanted the image to be about this tall.
Now that's going to be a bit of a challenge for us to make sure that it is in the center.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this picture. And then maybe we can grab something like this and pick out a section of this photo. And crop it in.
I'm also playing around on Canva to see if I could also come up with something.
Okay. Cool.
Size-wise, I'm trying to figure out the exact size of our panels so that we could have a kind of a template kind of thing to know what the size would be if we had to create 3 boxes and between which lines it needs to be. I hope I make sense if I'm saying that.
I don't know if I followed that. Sorry, I got pulled away here on the side. Can you say that again?
No, I'm just saying I'm trying to create something on Canva as well, where we can have a template to know exact sizes of Canva to our website builder. I just don't. I've managed to open one page on a site, yeah,
Okay.
and I can't go out of it.
No worries. Here we go. We can do this, and we can distribute these evenly. Is what I'm going to do. So I crop the images to fit what I want, and I'm going to space them evenly. You know, maybe we can look at our example here again. Get rid of these tabs. Yeah, so they have a little bit of space here. All right. Okay, and I'm going to group them together. Something like this to start, Jackie.
Yeah.
Let's see, what are the dimensions? I feel like it needs to be make sure the size is big enough. And full HD is 1920 by 1080. So maybe that's the dimension that we want to be in. So 1080 by 1920, and that fills up the whole screen.
Now that's where the thing is that playing around until you have found that exact space, so that it could make sense on the website.
All right. So something like this.
Yeah.
We're going to try this out, right? And now we're going to download. And hop into our builder. Title design. Okay. All right, let's hop in here. Jackie, can you actually work us through here and
yes,
give us the play-by-play? I know I need to create a blank panel. I'm going to get rid of this.
You're going to have to show us your, there we go. I just wanted to say, I couldn't see your screen there for a moment. All right. There's actually two ways on doing this. You can have it as a panel that you add global at the top, so it applies to the whole website. Okay. But at this stage, we just want to apply to the one where we are right now, which is this white panel here. Yeah. So for that, you're going to have to upload the image first to the panel.
Cool. So as a panel background,
yes.
Navigate over, right click, and go here where it says background color, and I'm going to change this image, and I'm going to upload that. Image. New upload, and I'm going to select my image that we created on Canva. All right, and now let's see what it looks like. Right now, I need to make it big enough to fill up the whole screen, right?
Yep.
All right.
It doesn't have to be the whole screen, because remember, we're only going to have boxes across those specific images. If you're going to go look at the dummy site that we are using, the text is only in those 3 boxes.
Right. Yes. So I think What I'm wondering is, how do we get from here to getting that effect that kind of like fixes the
You're
pattern?
gonna have to right click on the panel, and then you're gonna go make it fixed when it says when scrolling. So you're gonna scroll down until you get to the background settings itself.
Yep. Ooh,
And then you'll see fixed image.
beautiful.
Keep fixed.
Right. So keep fixed, and
So then it means it's not moving. The top piece is moving, but the bottom of that panel is stuck.
nice. So what we're gonna do is also like make it a little thinner, right?
And then now it's the part where you need to play around with it until you get the exact look that you want. And that's when you're going to start putting over.
Yeah, I think I don't necessarily love this gap here that's happening.
Which one? Where?
Here at the bottom, and that's more of like a design issue, right? Or like from Canva that we created.
I don't see the gap. Can you show me what you mean? I don't see
this
it.
area here before you scroll through, I don't really love. I would have preferred. Let's see if we can make these edits real quick. I would have preferred if we cut off the image here at the very bottom. Here, I can do this on the Builderall platform directly. Maybe we'll do this. So a couple of things that we can sort of fix here on Canva. So I want these images to sort of be taller, and maybe we can have it so that the panel comes right up to the image itself. And I also wanted to add maybe a very, very slight overlay just to make sure that the images themselves don't interrupt my reading.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to do these. I'm going to do black. All right. And a little bit of.
I'm going to show you the other way as well with the global, because like I said, there's two ways that we can do it. So that way, what we're doing right now is the one way. And then I'll show you the other way on this page that I managed to open up. It's not with the right images like you've got, but it's cool. Like a dummy.
Yeah. All about it. All right. Here, I'm going to download this again. And
because I think it's a good idea if we let them know that the people understand both the ways and they can choose which one will fit them both best. Sure. That in just one method.
Yeah. Word to the wise here: if you're uploading a new version of an image, make sure to delete the old one. The last thing you want to do is have too many images in one place. You know, that look the same, yeah. And then you have like all sorts of different iterations. So I love what's happening here. I like this, the way it reveals. I think that's very cool. I like the overlay, and I much prefer like this image and the way it comes up to the bottom of my screen. So it was a little bit too interruptive before, but now it's solid. So what we're going to do next, I assume, Jackie, is add some text boxes right over the images.
That's correct.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that.
I would normally, like I always say, I make sure to add a box and then the information in the box.
Right. So something like this.
I think there is a delay between your page when you add something.
Okay.
I don't know. Or maybe it's me. And like I said, I've got a lot of hiccups today on my side.
That's all good. All right, and the background color, I'm going to make transparent, right? We can actually have it be a little bit lighter. I don't mind it. And I'm going to add an image and then 2 text boxes and a button. All right, that's how these break down. An image, 2 text boxes, and a button. Image.
There's something wrong with your sound. There we go.
Better?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Image. And I'm looking for a text. And we can change this to white here. Maybe make it a little smaller. There we go. Smaller still. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. And I'm going to add another text box for the paragraph. And then finally, we're going to have a button live right in here. Let me just switch to white. And a button. So what style of button did they use here? We also have a really cool button design. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this button that we have and add it right in here. And then instead of this view menu, we'll have it say learn more.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this panel, move it over to the other piece, and here we can use some ruler. And line.
I love that we are showing the 2 different ways, because when you're done, obviously mine's not going to look like yours because I don't build on the same thing as you now.
Yeah.
But it's good to show them both
all the ways.
This is so cool. I just love these sessions. It's just
same. All right, so something like this, and we're gonna have the icons. Look at that. All right, that already looks awesome. So we're gonna have these icons. I'm gonna head over to Canva, and the images that we want to say maybe relate to the background image themselves, or itself rather. All right. Let's look at these elements and look for, broth maybe. Something like this. This is interesting. Okay, let's see all of these graphics. Something like this, I think, is great. And then for the other image, we have seating. Let's find a great image. Maybe we can search for restaurant. I like this. I don't mind it. Right here. And then for the third option, we have cocktails.
Perfect.
Yes. All right. And now I'm going to steal this color that we had over here. Jackie, you don't happen to remember what this color is, right?
I can't access to
Oh, no
use
problem.
a color picker.
I got it. Yeah. So again, here, download something like this color picker app. It's so valuable to just quickly grab a color that you need. All right, back to Canva. And we're going to turn this from upside down. All right. Here we go. From black to this wonderful color. And we're going to download these as separate images. And because I'm in whiteboard, I'm going to need to do something that's a little strange. This is like a Canva issue here. Or rather, I don't know if it's an issue. It's like really a workaround because we're using a whiteboard. I'm using a whiteboard for this Canva. And I have this button sort of hidden away behind this text. And that'll let me download this guy right here. All right. So I'm going to download this. And drinks. Cool. So with those downloaded, I need to hop back into the Builderall platform and upload these images. So I'm going to start off with broth. Actually, I made a mistake not downloading these as a transparent background. So I needed to hit this box. So I'm just going to do that over again. And again, I do want to replace the image that I know is not a usable image. And then finally here. And again, for anyone watching who does not have a Builderall account, you can go to checkout and use coupon code Email Hero. That's this month's code. You'll get 50% off of your first month of the Essentials plan, and you'll get an exclusive free one-on-one session with a success coach to help you get started in the best way possible. If you did miss our monthly workshop, the Email Hero workshop is available on Builderall/learn. So go there and view it, or you can find it on this YouTube channel itself. So just
Hello, Clarabelle. It's good to see you again here.
Awesome. I'm uploading these images that we've created. And I uploaded the broth twice. All right. And the drinks.
And just another tip for you guys to remember, when you are playing around and you upload images and you say this one is not right, go and delete them like Pierre said. And the reason why I'm saying it is every single thing you do on your account adds up to your amount of gigs that is available to you. So don't have unnecessary images connected to it.
Yeah. If you don't need it, get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So this image is done for the broth. And I'm going to select the seating. Oh, just did that. All right. Beautiful. And finally, for the cocktails, And here's the point where, you know, you want to start thinking about what's coming, right? You want to think about what the text is going to be underneath. And let's just go ahead and size these to match each other. And I'm going to use these rulers to create some sort of boundary for me. And as long as my image fits between this top and bottom, then I know that it will work. All right, now that looks great already. I'm going to go ahead and save. And I'm going to publish. Guys, the link to this page is going to be shared here in the comments. Go ahead and look at it yourself. You know, get some inspiration, save it. Maybe you'll use some of our ideas here as we build these pages out. But I totally love what's happening here. So
Definitely.
I'm gonna duplicate this guy. All right, so let's talk content. Let's talk what we're writing here in these boxes.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Services. What are the type of services that we offer? Is it just for corporate companies? Is it for book events, weddings? I think we should not just have, because we already got at the top menus,
right?
At the top panel, we're already talking about the different kinds of menus. I think it would be great if we give them the opportunity to say that this is not just for walk-in clients, but for corporate events, for team building, for, you know, I don't know. That's just a thought.
Sure. Let's see. Like a business event, something like this. That's interesting. Okay. I wrote down premium drinks. I don't know if that's something that we really care about necessarily.
Yes, why not? That is another idea. You know, like cocktails on mocktails, or that could
let's
be
write that,
very,
right? Cocktails and mocktails. I think that's something that's interesting. And these two words are a little on the longer side. So we're gonna have to like line break, but I don't mind it. I don't think it looks bad. Personally, I would have preferred if everything sort of like fit really neatly here, but if that's not gonna happen, I'm not gonna sweat it too much. Business events, and we'll follow in line here, and we'll make these lines break as well. Something like this. All right. Say more about hiding the button on. Okay. Someone's asking here to say more about hiding the button on the whiteboard. Let me just clarify this before it gets out of hand. This is a workaround that was actually discovered by one of our design team. So if this was the image itself, you right click, there's no way to download it, right? For whatever reason, Canva doesn't let you download it. So what I did was I just went in and I created any other second element.
yeah.
In my case, it was just a dot, but it can be a letter, it can be another shape, it can be whatever. So the dot is easy to hide, and I made it so that the button lives on a layer behind the image that I want, like this. And now if you select both and you right click, you're going to see this download selection, and that'll let you download whatever it is that you're trying to download. So again, and this is a workaround because whenever I'm doing something like this, I like to throw everything in a whiteboard and work as I go, and just have like a draft, like somewhere where I can like dump my ideas and work as I go. So there's that. And so finally here for this third one, let's do maybe like we have a monthly hot pot, right? Is that what it's called? A hot pot?
Hot pot, yeah.
Let me just Google a hot pot just to make sure we're not. Yeah. Cool. So a hot pot is a communal dining experience where raw ingredients like meat, seafood, vegetables, and noodles are cooked in a simmering broth at a table. Diners add their chosen ingredients. Yeah. So off of this, we can make it so that our pretend restaurant has monthly hot pot. And this is the image that we're going to do. And, underneath you can have whatever text you want it to have. I think I'm good with where we are right now. We don't need to like fill in all of the blanks. Especially not on live. I just feel like it's a little redundant. But what we did do.
It can be anything. Yeah, it can be anything, Stacy.
Yes, it can be anything you want. It can be another image. It can be whatever. But as long as you have that second element, that'll be, that's the workaround here that lets you download off of the whiteboard option or the whiteboard format, I guess. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and save. I'm going to publish. And let's look at this live. All right. So let's go to this website and look at what we have going on. All right. We have this beautiful header area. Sizzling hot tableside diners, crafted fresh with mouthwatering ingredients. And we saw last time how we made this rotating feature. I think it's so cool. And then underneath it, we have this awesome banner with that reveal feature or that reveal option. I think that's so cool. Really nice. And maybe next week, Jackie, we can work on creating this type of banner here. Or this
I'll show them how to do that as well.
That'll be really cool. I'm actually really excited. This is looking great. Cool. We can take some questions. We can do some notes. And Jackie, I know that you wanted to show us your iteration on how you would do something like this on Dockerel as well.
Now, there's obviously two different ways, and I'm going to share my screen with you just now. Let me just insert some empty spaces here because I'm on a page here that I cannot close. I know it sounds weird, but everything has been, I don't know what's going on. I think it's to do with where I am. I'm not sure. Let me just quickly move this around. If you guys have got questions, you can drop that so long. And I'll share my screen in just a moment. Just want to see. Just want to delete this box here so that you guys can get the effect. I must just not save this because this is a client's website that I'm actually playing in. You can imagine the nonsense I'm going to create if I do that. Just duplicate. So basically there's two different ways. The one that he showed you just now, where you are making use of a panel that is the background. The background is the panel itself. The one I'm going to show you guys now is where you are making use of the global settings as the background. And I'll tell you why why would you use something like that. Maybe you would like to use the same type of scrolling effect again at a later panel at the bottom or something, and you're doing something different. But I'm going to share with you. Oops. All right. So basically, it works the same principle. You can see as I move, that images is still there. I just don't have that nice scrolling effect because I don't have nothing at the top. But when I scroll, you can see the images change at the background and the rest is moving up. So to get this effect, you have to go to the global settings and upload your background here in the global area. Once it's been uploaded, you're going to go to the panel and you right click and you basically make the panel transparent. So if you're going to go right here, you can see that this is the image. Let me just remove that one. I think I've got it wrong one there. Let me change the background there. All right. So when you scroll it, this is the effect. That's what's happening. The back is staying in place and it's only the boxes that moves. Now, obviously, it's an idea to stretch your boxes as long as what that is until it moves out of the screen. Because I haven't done that now. But it is the transparency that you are creating. So once you've uploaded your image right there, you can make it transparent. If it's not transparent, it's going to look like this. So you need to go and change the transparency to what you want it to be. And that is how you would create the effect, by making use of a global. Because now you can have it in this page, but you would be able to have it anywhere else. So let's say I'm going to go to, you can see here, this is a transparent, how it's coming through in this area because of that being there.
And it would just repeat? Would it just repeat?
It repeats.
Interesting. So just as an idea, in theory, you could stack your overlays twice.
Yes, but you don't have to have it repeat. You don't have to have it as repeat, because under the global settings, the same as it is for the panel itself, you obviously choose your origin or where it is, your position, and here whether you want it to repeat and how you want to repeat it. So you can choose even the size of it. So there is additional things that you can use under the settings of the page background that you are using. It actually changes. If you click around on these things, you will see sometimes this will change. And depending on where it has been situated, you can see what happened there now. It jumped. So you could play around with it and decide how you want to place it and where you want to place it. But I do find that the global is more, it's not static, but I'm going to say it doesn't jump. So if I move around with the text now like this, the background is not jumping with the text. I don't know if it shows on yours, but it's like it's a more stable kind of background than just moving with it. If you get what I'm saying, because if you take it away, and I'm going to show you, let's just delete that one and we'll change the background here. Background settings. And let's use the background that we've got here. Look the difference if I scroll this now. It kind of jumps a little bit. Not much, but it does.
I see.
So it really depends on what you want to achieve, whether you want to go for this look or whether you want to go for the background at the top. That totally depends on you.
I think this opens up a lot of creativity options. Just the ability to use a background and then set an overlay on that background and then set an overlay on that overlay. I think this creates a lot of opportunities to really get creative, and I'd be curious to see if anyone's. We are at time, but I do see a question from Clarabelle in the comments. Can we choose to replace navigation to a global one after the website has been designed and published? I think you're talking about the menu, like the header menu option. Jackie, do you want to take this question?
Can we choose to replace navigation? to global one after the website has been designed and published. If you are talking about the menu navigation, you can, but then you have to republish the website again so that the new changes are taking effect. So if you've created a website with a normal navigation that was not global, and you now created a global one, you're going to have to republish so that the new settings are taking place. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Right.
Because remember, every time you republish, it takes the new information or the new changes that you've made into consideration. I don't know if that is...
Yeah, so I would go here and go to my global elements, and I would create a new header, right? And that's where I would create that header and add it to the website.
And that's the nice thing about it. If you are going to create global headers and footers, you don't have to, and let's say you're adding an additional page to your website, you don't have to go to each and every single page on the website now to go and add it to the menu. You just add it to the global area and republish, and the effect will be across all your pages. Where if you've just had it on your specific page itself, then you are creating a little bit of a problem for yourself, because then you're going to have to go manually and go change every single page navigation settings.
Right, and you don't want to be doing that. So
no.
Cool. All right. Well, we are at time. I'm so happy with the website that we were creating, Jackie. I think this is such a cool. It's a cool series that we're on. It's a cool journey. I like what's happening, and I'm excited for next week. We'll add that menu, and maybe we'll move on to a third panel, maybe something for the testimonials or something like this. We'll see. We'll figure it out as we go. But I think whatever we're doing, I think is a really cool initiative. Thank you all for joining us.
I do think we should. Pio, sorry that I was just thinking there is another thing that we need to add, and that is to show them how a burger menu can function on desktop.
Sure.
That's because instead of having this type of menu at the top, is to provide a burger menu. So that people can see how cool a burger menu can function as a desktop. Because these days people think burger menus are only for mobile use, but it really, if it's used correctly, especially on food such as this, a burger menu can really make a huge difference.
Yeah, especially so if I feel like burger menus are great if you're looking to retain like a really clean design, which is what we're after here. So I think it would work really well. So I'm excited for that. Thank you all for joining. We appreciate your time. Jackie, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe and hit the bell so that next week, same time when we go live, you'll get that notification and you'll join us again.
Awesome. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you around. Bye.